Does your home look like this? Or maybe this? Now, before you come for me and tell me that these are two completely different pictures, hear me out. Stuff like this is the exact reason that your home is a complete and total unorganized mess.
Dang!
So take 2 seconds, pout about it. Are you done? All right, let's get into how to organize your home. There are really only 2 things that you need to keep an organized home: functionality and ease. With functionality, when things in your home have a purpose, it leaves little room for clutter. So step 1 of keeping an organized home is to declutter. My rule of thumb, if you haven't used it in 3 months, get rid of it. And I know that's hard. Trust me, I myself am a hoarder. I just had this conversation with a close friend a couple days ago. I have 19 cutting boards. 19. And I don't cut anything. I'm a DoorDash queen, so it's really just for decor. But thinking back, like, that stuff is just cluttering up my home. And a lot of times things like that can cause for unorganization, or if I'm trying to redecorate, it's kind of hard to know where to put those things. Decluttering is a foolproof way to keeping an organized home. Getting rid of old books and spices that you haven't used in a really long time is a really good way of freeing up space. And to the person watching this who has that 3-year-old bag of mixed veggies in their freezer, go ahead and toss that. All in all, the less stuff you have, the less stuff you have to put away. Now, in no way do you have to become an extreme minimalist, but having stuff in your home that you don't use is frankly a waste of time, money, and space. The next way to keep an organized home is something I like to call grouping. Now, there is a similar concept that I kind of came up with called housing, but they're a little bit different. Hear me out. Grouping is putting similar items together that have the same functionality so that it's easy to put them back in their place. Now, housing is very similar to grouping in the sense that you're placing similar items with the same functionality in the same area. Let me give you an example here. Oftentimes, I walk into my house, throw my keys on the door, kick off my shoes, and go on with my day. But if I had an entryway, in that entryway, I could have an entry table, and on that entry table, I could put a bowl that could house my keys. Under the entry table, I could have a basket that could house my shoes. So housing is the concept of everything having a place. For example, the entryway housed the entry table. The entry table housed the bowl housed my keys. So if the keys aren't in my bowl, it's easy to know exactly where they need to go when I'm cleaning up. Going back to when I was telling you about functionality and ease, housing allows for both. So obviously it's super functional to have an entryway table with a bowl, right? And it can be aesthetically pleasing as well. But the ease of having these things helps when it comes to cleaning up. So not all of us are perfect, and I still might throw my keys on the door. But when it comes to cleaning up, then I know, okay, keys go in bowl. Bowl goes on table, table goes in entryway. This next tip is super important, and it hints to what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. When you have spaces that look like this, it's really hard to keep up with them. So the next tip is ease. Your home organization should be easy. When you have to depend on constantly restocking items like these aesthetically pleasing laundry rooms that you see on TikTok, or maybe even the kitchen organization pantry videos that you watch on certain people's YouTube channels, you can't keep up with those all the time. And honestly, it's really hard. Sometimes when I get a new box of cereal, I just want to get rid of the groceries or unpack the groceries, so I throw it into my pantry cabinet instead of actually pouring it into the new cereal container that I have in my pantry. And that's an honest struggle that I have with keeping a super organized and aesthetically pleasing pantry. Sometimes I'm lazy and don't want to unpack all of the things into the new containers. And honestly, it just kind of looks cluttered sometimes when I don't do that. So ease is super important. Organizing your home should make your life easier, not harder. Having to constantly restock is honestly setting yourself up for failure. Remember, functionality and ease. Yes, pantries like this are functional, but they're not easy. And tip number 4, if all else fails, my best hack at keeping an organized home is smell.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
If you always have a candle burning, you'll have that sense of a clean home and just feel accomplished throughout the day. So even if everything isn't always visually in place, it's okay to include your other senses like smell, taste, touch. Use those things to make you feel more relaxed in your home. Fake it till you make it. Speaking of faking it till you make it, my very first YouTube video ever was actually a kitchen organization video, and I made a huge mistake. So I want you to test what you've learned here, go over to that video and comment a red X when you find my mistake. See you there.